Most people think of inflation as an increase in the price of milk or eggs or cheese when you go to the store, and that's what it is. But economists like to think about inflation as a decrease in the purchasing power of dollars. One of the big questions in economics is what causes inflation? Why do we have inflation? Why do prices go up every year the way they seem to? The answer lies in who creates these pieces of paper. The Federal Reserve creates these pieces of paper, and in most countries around the world, the governments control their central banks, like ours. If they create a lot of these pieces of paper, prices go up. On the other hand, if the Federal Reserve doesn't create as many of these pieces of paper, prices may stay stable or they may even fall. Many people think inflation is always bad, and it might be. If your income doesn't go up and prices do, you're not going to be able to buy the same amount of stuff at the store. The good news is, for most people, most of the time, their incomes go up over time. So their incomes go up, prices go up, but they can buy pretty much the same amount as they've always been able to buy in the past. So let's think about what happens if your income doesn't go up. Maybe you're a retiree on a fixed income. If your monthly check stays the same, you're going to have problems when prices go up. Another problem that we have with inflation is long-term contracts. Suppose you lend me $20, and I agree to give you that money back a year from now. Suppose you plan to take that $20 when I give it back to you and go to the movies. Right now, you might be able to go to 2 movies with that $20. Next year, if there's a lot of inflation, you might only go to 1 movie. It's kind of like someone took one of those movies from you. And this problem with inflation isn't confined to just small loans with your friends. We have a lot of long-term deals in our economy, 30-year mortgages, 100-year leases. It's important that the people that are in these contracts have some security, that they know what those terms are going to be. Inflation messes up those terms. The good news is our economy can handle inflation a little bit. We can handle a little bit of deflation. That's when prices go down. But what we can't handle is double-digit inflation. When inflation gets too high, what we find is that countries really suffer. Those long-term contracts that we talked about, they get too hard for people to make. And that really affects the wealth of the nation. Economic progress requires people to have security in their contracts with each other. And when they don't make those kind of long-term deals, we lose jobs and we lose economic growth.